Hello all, my name is Krish and welcome to my YouTube channel. Now, this is my 23rd tutorial on the complete deep learning playlist. I know guys, like this was like it, I had actually skipped many days in order to upload this particular tutorial. There were some problems. I had to actually make up this particular setup, and the previous setup was a little bit ruined. So now I've made this setup properly. I'm extremely sorry for the delay. Now I'll be continuously uploading videos with respect to deep learning, and we'll try to complete within 2 weeks. So today in this particular video, we'll be discussing about the operations of CNN, that is convolution neural network, and we'll try to see the basic differences between an artificial neural network operation and a convolution neural network operation. So in this left hand side, this is basically my ANN operation, and in the right hand side, I'm basically drawn my CNN operation. And we'll try to discuss this. We'll try to find out the basic difference, them how the operation usually takes place. In this case, how the weights are getting updated, that I've already made a video regarding that in my previous videos. In my past 22nd and 21st tutorial, I've actually created a video on padding and actually shown you what is convolution operation. So let us go ahead and try to see, because after convolution operation, the filters that we are choosing in convolution neural network, how this is getting updated, we'll try to understand that. And one more thing guys, if you are looking for some suggestion towards the transition of data science, or if you want some advice with related to the real life data scientist, I'll be sharing some information. So make sure that you watch this particular video till the end. So let us go ahead. Now over here, let me just consider an artificial neural network, and suppose these are my inputs x1, x2, x3, and these are my weights that gets assigned w1, w2, w3. You know, if you have not seen these videos, you can completely go and check my playlist. Again, the link will be given in the description. Now we know that in the first iteration, right, when we go to the first hidden neuron in the first layer, we will multiply all the weights and the inputs, right, and I'm assigning it as Z. And after this, we will also add a bias. After adding bias, we apply a ReLU or some activation functions like sigmoid, ReLU, and many more. And we have already discussed about this. Now, similarly, if I take the same operation with respect to a CNN, you know that in CNN we have some image. It may be of any size, like it may be, currently in this particular example, I have taken 4x4. Now, when I take this image, I will initialize some filters, filters or kernels. These are called as kernels. Now, why this filter is basically used? It is basically used to, to find out the horizontal edge detection, vertical edge detection, many things like that, right? And we have also discussed about this. Now, the convolution operation basically says that, okay, we have understood that how the convolution operation takes place. We will take this value. Suppose over here I have some values like this, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and these all are pixels, right? If you know, and if I'm considering this as a gray pixel, white and black images, I'll have one pixel value, right? If I'm considering this as RGB image, then it will have 3 channels. One is R channel, G channel, and B channel, and each and every field will be represented with the help of 3 values. The R value, suppose this R value is 128, this G value is something like 100, this blue value is basically like 250, right? So when all the colors are combined, we basically get a color image. But in the case of grayscale image, we'll just have 1 pixel values. Now what will happen? Suppose this is my filter. Okay, so suppose this is my values of the filter, and consider that this is a vertical filter. Vertical filter basically means if I apply this particular filter onto this image, I'll be able to get all the vertical edges in the output image, right? And after that, I have also concerned, right? I have also told you, if I take an image of 4x4 and 2x2 filter is applied, I will be getting 3x3. If I'm not adding any padding or strides. Strides basically means, first of all, I'll place this filter on top of it over here. Okay, so this is my 3x3. So this, in the first operation, I'll do this, I'll get the value. What kind of operation will happen in convolution? We'll try to multiply each and every value this. Suppose 0 into 1 is 0. Okay. Then in the second field, 1 into 2 is 2. Right. In the third field, 0 into 3 is 0. And like this, all the addition will happen, and finally you'll be getting the value for this particular field. And similarly, this operation will happen, and that usually happens in convolution. And I have discussed this in my previous videos also. Now, the most important thing to understand over here is that when we are getting the output image, right, what happens after this particular stage? That is pretty much important to us understand. And always remember guys, like this kind of filters, suppose this is my filter 1, we may also have another filter like F2. We may have another filter like F3. This filter may be an horizontal edge detection. This may be some like shape detection, something like this kind of filters will be present. Now you know that in ANN, we will try to update this weight. We'll try to learn this weight with respect to the output in the back propagation stage. You know that after we get the output, we calculate the loss. And after we get the loss, what we do? We again back propagate, we find out all the derivative, we subtract all these weights and we update those weights, right? So similarly in this particular case, we will try to learn these filters. We will try to update the values inside this particular filter with the help of back propagation. And that is the trick over here. All the concepts are same, everything is same, right? There is one more, like suppose I am getting the output after one convolution operation. There are still some more operation called as max pooling. I'll discuss about max pooling in my next video, but you need to understand that these filters will have to be learned by my convolution neural network. These values needs to be updated inside my filter. Now once I am getting this particular output, after this I will again go and apply ReLU activation function on each and every field. On each and every field I have to apply the ReLU activation function like how I did it over here. You know, so this was my operation, right? I multiplied weights with my inputs in ANN. After I got this value, I applied an activation function. So similarly over here, first of all I applied filter. I did my convolution operation. I got the output. After getting the output for each and every field, I applied my ReLU activation function. Right? Now, after when I do the ReLU activation function, you need to understand in the back propagation, and again, I've still not discussed about max pooling, but max pooling will also play a very important role over here. So in short, when I just go ahead and finally when my back propagation is done, these all values are getting updated. And similar case, like how we did the updation over here, considering the loss function, we'll be considering some optimizer, same thing will get applied to this convolution neural network also. So this is pretty much important to understand, guys. The basic difference why I'm showing you ANN, because the operation is almost same. You know, we'll multiply the weights with the inputs and then we'll try to apply an activation function. So similarly over here in the convolution operation, what will happen? We will take this filter, we'll apply convolution operation, whatever output will go, we will apply an activation function on each and every values over here. And then we'll finally get the output. So this is the basic difference in the operation of CNN and an ANN. Right? After this, you know, you may also vertically stack any number of convolutions. So this is one convolution operation, right? Considering the ReLU activation function is one convolution operation, and I can stack this horizontally, you know, one after the other. Now, why do I have to horizontally stack also? You should understand that. Suppose, let me take an example. We know that in our brain, right, we have various regions to detect some images, right? Suppose I'm seeing an image of a cat. Suppose, and I have explained in my previous video, I may have layers like V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6. And this is also horizontally stacked, you know. After this particular output will be given to V2, then it will be given to V3, V4, V5, and finally we'll be able to see the image, right? So similarly in this case, we can also stack this convolution neural network horizontally, one after the other. Suppose in the V1, suppose I'm seeing a cat over here. Okay, so this is my cat. Sorry for my bad diagram, but consider that this is the cat. Okay, suppose V1 is able to detect the face. Okay, then since I have horizontally stacked it with another convolution over here, now this face will go to the next stage. Here the more clear face can be visible. Then inside this particular face, what are the features that can also be visible, right? And there may be different filters for detecting eyes. There may be different filters. So we can use maximum number of filters over here. And you know that initially all these values inside this filter will be randomly selected. You know, some values will get selected, and later on with the help of back propagation, all these values will get updated, right? So similarly, we can stack this, and this whole operation is called as one convolution layer, and we can stack this horizontally. After this, I'll also be discussing about what is max pooling. Then you'll more understand about why max pooling is also used. There is a very good term in one of the research paper called as location invariant. Location invariant, right? So very important term in one of the research paper. What it says is that usually when our human brain sees some faces, right, some of the neurons get automatically triggered. Right? And similarly, we should try to make our convolutional neural network also do like that. So what I'm saying is that suppose in one of the image I have multiple cats faces, then automatically this convolution neural network or the kernels that I'm basically using should get automatically triggered, where it will be able to detect those multiple faces. So that step will be done by the max pooling layer. Okay, I'll be trying to explain you that in my next video, but just understand this was the basic difference between artificial neural network and a CNN. I hope the diagram has got completely mixed up, but I hope I was going in the right path. I have explained in the right path. Just keep this in mind. In my next video, I'll be discussing about the max pooling layer. Now I'll go what I said in the starting, guys. If you are looking for transition towards data science, if you are looking for some career advice, if you are looking for some help with respect to some real world data scientist talk, you can basically go and visit this channel called as Springboard India. The link is basically given in the description. It has wonderful discussion with respect to different data scientists. You can have a look onto that. The link will basically be given in the description, guys. So I hope you like this particular video. Please do subscribe my channel if you have not already subscribed. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day ahead. Thank you, one and all.